Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to WWE News. This is the newest segment here on this channel where I read the dirt sheets and give my opinions on the news. Some of this stuff may not be true, but, I usually try to go for the best stories that may be true, or leaning more on the realistic side of things. So, first news item I got here is Jerry the King Lawler having a stroke. So, 2 weeks before Mania, the King had another stroke. We all saw, he had one on, more of, like a heart attack, really, on Raw back in 2012. It was a big scare. So, to see this happen again, to the King is pretty scary. And this is another thing where I think they should really utilize Jerry more on WWE TV. I mean, we all know that somebody's life could be over like that with a snap of the fingers. So, you have a legend here. Clearly, the King is 10 times better of an announcer than any of the three goofs we have on Raw. I mean, I will say that if I had to choose any of these guys, I probably would pick Michael Cole as being the best. I mean, it was nice seeing the Coach for a while, but, he was never one of my favorites. You have Jerry the King Lawler there. The guy was doing a great job on SmackDown when they took him off. You had a great team on SmackDown just a year ago or so with the King and Mauro Ranallo, and, that team was diminished. And it's sad to see, but you couldn't even find a commentary spot for the King and JR at WrestleMania out of all those matches. Now, I don't know if they commentated anything on the pre-show. And the weird thing is, I thought I heard somebody say that they called a match on WrestleMania, and I watched the whole thing in the main card, and I didn't even see the King call a single match. I didn't see JR call a single match on there, so I don't know what that's all about. Maybe they called the match on the pre-show. But like I said, take advantage of why we have the King here. Thankfully, he was able to recover after 3 days. He wasn't able to talk, which was the scary thing. He was unable to talk for 3 whole days, and then he woke up the next day, and his face was sagging, and then he had full functionality the 3 days from the point of the stroke. So, like I said, these guys are getting older, they're getting up there, and I think we should be utilizing these legends more effectively. I mean, we have so much wasted time on Raw and SmackDown. We have all these goofballs calling the matches. This Corey Graves with the fucking horrible hair that he has right now, this platinum white gray hair, whatever color that is. I didn't even mention that in my WrestleMania review. And you have a legend, the caliber of Jerry the King Lawler. He's still there. He's still healthy to call these matches, and you're just, you don't have him there. He could add so much to these shows. And he was adding a lot to SmackDown as a heel announcer until, they decided to just do away with him for whatever reason. There has been a casket match booked for the Greatest Royal Rumble, which I just don't know. That sounds like an odd name, but I don't know. I gotta admit, I'm actually looking forward to this card. Brock and Roman in the cage, 50-man Royal Rumble, Cena against Triple H. I mean, I'm always going to be into that. I mean, you've got two greats right there squaring off. I gotta say, I'm looking forward more to watching this than I was looking forward to taking a look at Mania. And now you got this casket match. The Undertaker already wrestling another match against Rusev. We all know who's going over in this one. And what's really weird about this is that Rusev tweeted out, "Bury me gently," which is just odd. It's like he's admitting that he knows that he's going to job out in this match. Man, I mean, social media is really killing the business. It really is, guys. Wow. To be tweeting that out, unless that was a fake tweet, I don't know, but it's what I heard that he tweeted out. That's the case. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. I mean, man, another Taker match so soon. I mean, he looked great at Mania. So it'll probably be a pretty quick match. I wouldn't, look for this really to go over like 5 or 6 minutes. But, hey, it's Taker, and looks like they got a pretty good card arranged here. WWE is going to be working with Impact Wrestling with TNA on a Hardy Boys DVD. They are actually going to let them use footage. Now, I don't know what happened. I thought that WWE was buying the TNA tape library. Something must have fell through, or those were untrue announcements. Whatever the case may be, they're going to be featuring the broken footage from Impact on the WWE DVD. So, I'm not really understanding this. So why is Matt Hardy called Woken Matt Hardy? If we're going to have the broken footage, if we're going to have the broken footage, yeah. I guess maybe the whole thing was it wasn't true about this lawsuit after all. I guess the whole thing was that they just wanted to put their own spin on it and call him Woken. Because obviously there wouldn't be a problem. We're getting so far as to seeing all this footage now. And, I'm actually really happy to see that. I guess they're getting a bit more comfortable with mentioning that TNA exists. It's just kind of weird to me because TNA is still alive and well. It's not like it's defunct yet. I know it seems like it is, and it probably should be, but it's still there. So they're working with them. I mean, we saw photos of AJ with the NWA title, which was the TNA title. Clearly he was standing in a TNA ring. You couldn't see any clear-cut TNA logos, but they were showing that AJ was somewhere other than Japan and WWE at Wrestlemania, and those in the video montage they put together. So that, it's kind of interesting that WWE is kind of coming to terms with showing that there's other companies out there, even though we already know that there are. But like I said, I kind of understand why WWE doesn't want to give TNA free promotion. As silly as it may seem that we're supposed to believe that AJ just wrestled in Japan his whole life prior to coming to WWE. And then the final news item, we've got Jericho returning in the 50-man greatest Royal Rumble. So, I don't get this. Jericho is going to be returning for this Royal Rumble. I don't know if he's planning on showing up on Raw next week or whatever the case may be. But I would. I would just not have him just show up in this Royal Rumble match. You have a star that was reinventing himself. The whole thing about the list and everything, I wasn't like a massive fan of all that, but I will give Jericho credit. Trying to kind of refreshen up his character, whatever the case may be. The guy is still good, he's still in the ring well, he's still healthy, he's in great shape. Again, you try to use this guy effectively. Because every single time they have him there, I don't know what it is. To me, the whole Kevin Owens storyline was a waste of time for Jericho. It really was. Putting him with the U.S. title. You're talking about a guy that held the first ever undisputed championship. That's a whole accolade that he repeats over and over, and then you're going to give him a U.S. title. I even thought it was silly when he was going back and winning the IC title all those times. And now you're going to tell me that he's going to be a U.S. champion. Whatever. They were even doing that with Orton right now, for God's sake. Anyway, I think that they should be doing so. Why is Jericho not in the world title picture? He has no interest in that all this time that he's been back, and the guy is not going to make an attempt at the title. I'm not really getting that at all. I think that they should really move Jericho, put him on SmackDown or something, have him work with these guys, freshen him up a bit in some of these feuds. Why can't we have an interesting feud once again? Maybe something with Jericho and Orton or something to freshen things up a bit. Get some star power out there. You got to, put Jericho out there. He's one of the few guys that still has charisma left in a show strapped for characters and charisma. I mean, you have one like Jericho. And here you're going to just, first of all, it's kind of proven that Jericho's got his band Fozzy and all that. He does pretty well for himself, making money off of his podcast, his books and everything. WWE needs him more than he needs WWE. So I don't understand why they don't treat him better when he comes back. I guess McMahon doesn't like it because he doesn't like when people are doing other things outside of WWE. It's time to get over that shit already, because you're wasting Jericho. Again, another guy that's only getting up there in age. You better use him now while you can. So there you go, guys. There's your news items. Hope you enjoyed this edition of WWE News. Yeah, until next time.